Right, everybody, take out your cell phones, switch them to off. If there are any virgins in the room, make sure that you switch them off too, okay? Ladies and gentlemen, whether you like it or not, Hedwig!
wanna tear me down?
Don't you wanna tear me down?
Me down. You're so sweet. I do love a warm hand on my entrance. Thank you. My name is Hedwig. Please welcome the Angry Inch. And my man, Friday through Thursday, Yitzhak. There's no need, there's none. I'm thrilled that you could join me for this special first night performance here at the beautiful and historic Bathhouse Cultural Center. Yeah, that last part is very important. We thought that we were booked at a very different venue. But here we are tonight at Forever Plaid. I'm more of a stripes girl myself, but okay. I've looked, there are no glory holes. I was trying to catch a senator. There are no slings. You're free to leave, sir. I can see the disappointment on your face. Now, this may come as a surprise to many of you, but this is not my first time ever performing at the Bathhouse. It's a different type of performing. We'll see if I can stay on my feet this time. Oh, welcome to the fabulous opening night of my unlimited Texas run. And when it comes to huge openings, a lot of people think of me. Many more of you, though, have only recently become aware of me. Yeah, it took a tragedy for you to finally pay attention. But now you're interested. Intrigued, even. Who is this Hedwig, and why have we never heard of her before, Bob? That's a question I've been asking myself for years. Minus the Bob. How did some slip of a girly boy from communist East Berlin become the internationally ignored song stylist? Barely standing before you. That's what I want to talk about tonight, ladies and gentlemen. I don't want to talk about calamity and scandal. I don't want to talk about my relationship with a certain well-known rock icon, Tommy Gnosis. Even though, at this very moment, he is probably talking about me. You see, by some freak coincidence, he is previewing his tour of atonement at the American Airlines Center in Dallas. It's a little bit bigger than this. It's coming to us live via radio on Kiss FM. Let's tune in. Let's tune in, yeah? Hello, Dallas! Hey, listen! There's someone I'd like to thank for the way they handled this tragedy. With incredible loyalty in the face of a lot of lies. And that someone is you, my fan! Together, no one's gonna tear us down. Okay. I wrote every song on that fucking album. And by the way, the tabloids got it right. He was driving, he was on blow, and he was getting blown by yours truly. And he did hit that school bus full of deaf children. One survived, now blind. I taught him everything he knows and has apparently forgotten about rock and roll. And he barely even mentioned my name on that giant sucking sound Ellen calls a show. Which I'm sure you all saw. Otherwise I'd be singing for the Ducks. Or if I was lucky, my agent, Phyllis Stein. Did you make it tonight, Phyllis? I'm sorry. I'm completely wide open tonight. Oh. You see, the road is my home. My home? The road. And when I think of all the people I have come upon in my travels, I have to think of all the people that have come upon me. It's not like that, okay? We're talking about the geography of human contact here. The triangulation of a pair of eyes on my face. The latitude and longitude of a pair of hands on my body. These are my only clues as to my place in this world, as to who I am. Who is Mystery Woman? I laugh, because I will cry if I don't. Or I'll drink. It's a crazy straw. Oh, it's so fun. I recently found my first diary, you know. Age 2 through 6. Fully illustrated. And I realized that so many people have touched me on my way to this stage tonight. How can I say who has touched me the most? Could it have been my father, the American GI, who left when I was barely able to speak my first words? Daddy, when I grow up, I will kill you. I was a sweet kid. Or could it have been my East German mother? No. No, when she touched me, it was usually by accident, reaching for the beans at the table or something. One time, we were watching Jesus Christ Superstar on American Forces television, and I turned to Mother. Jesus said the darndest things. And she slapped me. Don't ever mention that name to me again. But he died for our sins. So did Hitler. Absolute power corrupts. Absolutely. Better to be powerless, my son. Well, she got her wish when the wall went up. We happened to be living on the east side, and Mother was given a job teaching sculpture to limbless children. Socialism, God rest its soul. But most of my time was spent listening to American Forces radio. Our apartment was so small that Mother made me play it in the oven. This is an oven. Late at night, I would rest my head on the top rack and listen to the American masters. Tony Tennille, Debbie Boone, Anne Murray, who was actually Canadian, working in the American idiom. And then there were the crypto-homo rockers. Lou Reed, God rest his soul. Iggy Pop, David Bowie, who was actually an idiom, working in both Canada and America. These artists, they left as deep an impression on me as that oven rack did on my face. To be a young American in Muskrat love, soft as an easy chair, not even the chair I am, I said. Have I never been mellow? Have I never tried? And the colored girls sing. I sang along. But never with the melody. How could I do it better than Tony or Debbie? Once, I couldn't resist. You light up my... Mother threw a tomato at my head. But I was really quite content to sing gentle backup harmonies in my oven, while Mother sculpted in the shower. When the hour grew late, Mother would call from the bathroom, "Well, that's me." And I would reply from the kitchen, "Well, I guess that's me too." We would wash our feet and brush our teeth and lie down next to one another on the narrow pallet that we shared after Daddy left. Like two pieces of a puzzle that don't quite fit, but are jammed together and left on the table by some dangerous shut-in with too much time on his hands. I'm sorry. I'm completely dilated tonight. Oh. I would like to share with you all a bedtime story that Mother once whispered to me in the dark, and then later retracted. Whatever allowed her to share such a story with such a little boy, I'll never know. But I remember it like it happened yesterday. And the earth was still flat, and the clouds made of fire, and the mountains stretched up to the sky, sometimes higher. Folks roamed the earth like big rolling kegs. They had 2 sets of arms, they had 2 sets of legs, they had 2 faces peering out of one giant head, so they could watch all around them as they talked while they read, and they never knew nothing of love. This was before the origin of love.
The origin of love.
The origin of love.
The origin of love.
And there was 3 sexes then, one that looked like 2 men glued up back to back, called the children of the sun. And similar in shape and girth was the children of the earth. They looked like 2 girls rolled up in one. And the children of the moon were like a fork shoved on a spoon. They was part sun, part earth, part daughter, part son. Oh, the origin of love. Now the gods grew quite scared of our strength, our defiance, and Thor said, I'm gonna kill them all with my hammer, like I killed the giants. But Zeus said, no, you better let me. I'll use my lightning like scissors, like I have legs off the whales, dinosaurs into lizards. And then he grabbed up some bolts, and he let out a laugh, so to split them right down the middle. Gonna cut them right up in half, and the storm clouds gathered above into great balls of fire. And then fire shot down from the sky and cold like shining blades of a knife, and it ran right through the flesh of the children of the sun and the moon and the earth. And some Indian god sold the wound up to a hole, put them down to our belly to remind us of the price we pay. And Osiris and the gods of the Nile gathered up a big storm to blow a hurricane, to scatter us away in a flood of wind and rain, and a sea of tidal waves to wash us all away. And if we don't behave, they'll cut us down again. We'll be hopping around on one foot, looking through one eye. Last time I saw you, we had just split in 2. You was looking at me, and I was looking at you. You had a way so familiar I could not recognize, 'cause you had blood on your face, I had blood in my eyes. But I could swear by your expression that the pain down in your soul was the same as the one down in mine. Oh, that's the same. It cuts a straight line down through the heart. We call it love. So we wrapped our arms around each other, trying to shove ourselves back together. We were making love, making love. It was a cold, dark evening such a long time ago, when by the mighty hand of Joe, After Mother finished, she began to snore. But I had to go somewhere I could think. So I crept into the kitchen and I put my head in the oven. I was very Sylvia Plath back then. It's an intellectual joke. It is clear that I must find my other half. But is it a he or a she? Is it Mother? Oh, I was suddenly very afraid to go back to bed. Or is it Daddy? Well, he went away. What does this person look like? Identical to me or somehow complementary? Does my other half have what I don't? Did he get the looks? The luck? The love? Were we really separated forcibly, or did he just run off with the good stuff? Or did I? Will this person embarrass me? And what about sex? Sex. Is that how we put ourselves back together again? Is that what Daddy was trying to do? Or can two people actually become one again? And if it happens while we're driving on the Autobahn, can we still use the diamond lane? Practical questions of wholeness, ladies and gentlemen. Completion. Think of it. I thought of it. I thought of the power. The gods were terrified. Magnifying side. Very funny, it's very passive aggressive. Look, kids talk immigration. Not so funny now, huh? Now, if you behave, I'll let you shave my ass later, that's all. Do you like the hair, ladies and gentlemen?
Yes.
Wild hair. No, I can still touch you. I said, do you like the fucking hair, ladies? I had to make sure, I wasn't sure. There's no fucking wall there. Oh, yeah. You know, these are actually my lungs. They're my Aquanet lungs. They kick in on the high notes. There's all my trade secrets there. Well, it looks like we've got some trouble in the West Wing. I'm just going to fix that up real quick. Texas style. That's how we do it in Texas, right? Oh, the bigger the hair, the closer to God. No, I want to be serious now for just a moment. I was just telling Yitzhak the other day how nervous I was about tonight. Would I still be able to fit into that old Sergio Valente? There was no time to diet, so I had my heart removed. Suddenly I'm a perfect size 6. Peach. Yitzhak, was machst du da? Komm mal. I'm sorry you had to see that. When I met him, he said he wanted to be a model. Yeah, a foot model, maybe.
Papa, can you hear me? Papa, can you hear?
But enough about him. Let's get back to the show. Peach. Why don't we see what Tommy is up to? Do your fucking job.
Realized that there was only one person who had ever been there for me in my life. And that person was me.
Well, what about me? Without me, he would have never swerved into that oncoming short bus, got all that attention. I would like to take a moment here against the advice of my lawyer. Yes, I have a lawyer, Brian Longcar. The strong arm. I had just wrapped up a late night engagement in the meatpacking district. We're talking about the newly renovated Tony meatpacking district here, okay? You've heard of Soho and NoHo? This is Meepa. Meepa, can you get it? There I was on 14th Street, the very boulevard of Meepa, when a limo pulled up. Well, I stepped in, naturally mistaking it for my own. In the limo sat Tommy Gnosis. We were both astonished. It had been years we made that sound. There was a lot of that in Meepa that night. So we dropped the driver off and drove up and down the island doing drugs and catching up. We spoke of the disappointing sales of his second album, the one he wrote without me. He spoke of his loneliness and I reminded him of happier days. I just couldn't keep my mouth shut and we all know the rest. So you can imagine that when the story broke, Tommy's people were willing to offer me a small fortune to keep this all to myself. As if I'd accept their filthy lucre. As if selling the story of someone else's pain was my only means of support. As if I hadn't already launched my new fragrance, Atrocity, by Hedwig. Yeah, it's a fragrance for a man or a woman. Or a freak. You want to try some? It's on. Send some of that out there. Go. It's a scratch and sniff, scratch and Get some to that one, she looks pretty stinky. I'm joking, I love you. Okay, yeah, that's enough, that's enough. I'm wearing the wig. Oh. I digress. One day, in the late mid-80s, I was in my early late 20s. I had just been dismissed from university after delivering a brilliant lecture on the influence of German philosophy on rock and roll entitled, "You Can't Always Get What You Want." It's another intellectual one. At 26, my academic career was over. I had never kissed a boy, and I was still sleeping with mother. The search for my other half on this side of the wall had proved futile. Might he be found on the other? But how to get over? People had died trying. Such were the thoughts flooding my tiny head on the day that I was sunning myself in an old bomb crater I had discovered near the wall. I am naked, lying face down on a piece of broken church, inhaling a fragrant westerly breeze. The new McDonald's had opened on the other side. My God, I deserved a break today. All I ever get is the unhappy meal. The sun is hot, but I feel a sudden chill. I look over my shoulder. A head-shaped shadow is resting on the pillow of my ass. Girl, I sure don't mean to annoy you. My name is Corporal Luther Robinson. I turn my body to face him. My name is Hansel. Hansel? Well, you must like candy. I like Gummibärchen. Out of his pocket comes a strange packet that says gummy bears. Gummy bears. I select a single clear bear. It's the biggest one I have ever seen. The taste is completely different from a gummy bear. It's somehow familiar. It's sweeter than a gummy bear and softer too. Its little gummy body stretches on the rack of my molars. Wow, I feel so optimistic. What is that flavor? He pours me a handful, his eyes heavy with an unfamiliar desire. Could it be the desire to please me? I suddenly recognize the flavor in my mouth. It's the taste of power. Not bad. Damn, Hansel. I can't believe you're not a girl. You're so fine. Why don't you take the whole bag? He searches my face for news of his fate. His expression is echoed in scores of tiny faces pressing against clear plastic, panting faces of every imaginable color, creed, and non-Aryan origin, fogging up the bag like the windows of a Polish bathhouse. It's only a shower. Absolute power. I push Luther away and I stumble naked through the ruins back toward blander, less complicated confections, leaving in my wake a trail of rainbow carnage. The next day, Hansel follows the trail back. And lying there on my slab are 3 Milky Way, a roll of Necco wafers, some Pop Rocks, this one's for you, baby, and a giant-sized sugar daddy named Luther. I got a sweet tooth, licorice drops and jelly rolls. Hey sugar daddy, Hansel needs some sugar in his bowl. I'll lay out fine china on the linen and polish up the door. If you got some sugar for me, sugar daddy, bring it home. Blackstrap molasses, you're my orange blossom honey bear. Dress up like the disco dancing jet set in Milan and Rome. If you got some sugar for me, sugar daddy, bring it home. Well, the thrill of control, like the rush of rock and roll. It's the sweetest taste I've known. Oh yeah, if you got some sugar, bring it home. I think we've got some sugar daddies in the house tonight. I can smell that oil money. It's something to be seen. Oh, baby, you can give me a cavity. And baby, you can fill that cavity. And everything you bring me's got me dripping like a honeycomb. It's a car wash, ladies and gentlemen. Like the pepper on the road. It's the sweetest taste I've known. Oh yeah, if you got some sugar, bring it home. Oh yeah, come on sugar daddy, bring it home. Whiskey and French cigarettes, a motorbike, high-speed jet, a water pig, a squeezing out, and a hypoallergenic dog. No, I want all the lessons of the modern age. Every item on every page in the Lillian Burning catalog.
Oh, babe, something crossed my mind. And I was thinking you'd look so fine in a velvet dress with heels and an ermine stole.
Oh, Luther, darling, heaven knows, I've never put on women's clothes.
Bullshit.
Except the ones my mother's pantyhose. So you think only a woman can truly love a man? Is that what you think? You buy me the dress, I'll be more woman than a man like you can stand. I'll be a Venus on a chocolate clam shower and I'll see a marshmallow roll. If you got some sugar for me, sugar daddy, bring it home. It's our tradition to control, like Eric Honecker and Helmut Wolf. Remember him? From the Ukraine to the Rome. Sweet home Morales. Oh Lord, I'm coming home. God bless America. Drill, baby, drill. Oh, yeah, it was good for me too. I like that. So, it was not a traditional wedding. For example, when Luther popped the question, I was on my knees. She gets it. I invited him home for dinner.
Me, the real me, the me I used to be.
After dessert, Luther presents a ring, an application for American citizenship, and a wig. He loves me, Mother. He wants to marry me, get me the hell out of here. I put the wig on my head. It's a hideous beige shag. Is it really so crazy, Mother? It might just work. My mother's face might have been a photograph. It was so still. After what seemed like a lifetime, probably hers, she reaches out her hand to straighten the wig. Get me my passport and my camera, Hansel. I know a certain party. Yeah, the party she'd be having after I left. It's a simple cut and paste job. We change the photo and you can use my name, Hedwig Schmidt. Not so simple, ladies. Baby, you know I love you, and I'm always thinking about you. But I gotta marry you here in East Berlin, and that means a full physical examination. Well, they will see right away that I have a baby. To walk away, you've gotta leave something behind. Am I right, Mrs. Schmidt? I always thought so, Luther. Hansel, to be free, one must give up a little part of oneself. And I know just the doctor to take it. Don't move. Go!
Operation got botched. My guardian angel fell asleep on the watch. Now all I've got is a Barbie doll crotch. I got an angry end. 6 inches forward and 5 inches back. I got an angry end. I'm a 6
1988. A tiny registrar's office with a breathtaking view over the wall. Elle Hansel-Smith becomes Mrs. Hedwig Roberts.
Tomorrow, I am leaving on a jet plane, and by the time I get to Phoenix, love will keep us together. 'Cause I'm just an embryo with a long, long way to go. But I know too much to turn back and pretend.
November 9th, 1989. Junction City, Kansas.
I sit in my mobile home and on bootleg cable watch the wall come down. Divorced, penniless, a woman, sort of. I cry because I will laugh if I don't. Suddenly I miss Mother. I consider calling Berlin, but then remember with envy her recent escape to sunny Yugoslavia. Maybe Luther would be home. No. No, he was never the one. Never the missing half. I catch myself in the mirror and for the first time see clearly the horror hunkering on my head. It's the same carpet remnant Luther presented to me a year ago to disguise my receding hair. Receding. I am receding. I tear the wig off my scalp and hurl it across the room at a pile of unopened anniversary presents. There it lies, feigning shock. My personal hair system. My personal hell. My Hedwig. On nights like this, when the world's a bit amiss, and the lights go down across the trailer park, I get down, I feel had, feel on the verge of going mad, and then it's time to punch the clock. I put on some makeup, turn on the tape deck, and put the wig back on my head. Suddenly I'm Miss Midwest Midnight Checkout Queen, until I head home and I put myself to bed. Suddenly routine. I look up from my roof on the rocks, the gift wrapped wax still in the box of towering velveteen. I put on some makeup, some Laverne Baker. I'm pulling the wig down from the shelf.
Sausage girls, chicken wings, I'll be telling you. Under the round, and the things rolling over you. Let's roll, great mountains, I'll be telling you. It's all because of you, all because of you.
Okay, everybody now. I put on some makeup. I can't fucking hear you. I'm pulling the weight down from the shelf. Yes.
And I ain't never, I'm never turning back.
I think we've got our single. That was a rock and roll gesture. No, actually, that was more of a heavy metal gesture. Do you want to see a punk rock gesture? You see, it's the direction of the aggression that defines the movement. Do you want to see a pop princess gesture? Yeah. Who the fuck knows where that aggression's directed? Yeah, daddy issues, I can relate. Oh, we're running low here. Let's get some cheer. Cheer. They're not sponsors, don't worry. It's fucking cold in here. It's up. Okay. How about this band, ladies and gentlemen? Yeah. On bass, we have Jacek. On guitar, Ślotko. On bass, Christoph. I mean drums, Christoph. Yeah. And my trusted musical director. That's right. There are no vowels in that name. All so very talented and so lucky to be here, right, boys? Yeah, that's right. Watch the tempo on that last one, okay? Do you like the pelt, ladies and gentlemen? No, it's not that anymore. Yeah, do you like the pelt, ladies and gentlemen? Now tell me truthfully, because some bitch stopped me on the way in. What poor unfortunate creature had to die for you to wear that? My Aunt Trudy, I replied, and walked away. Oh, come on, I told them to turn that off before the show. Hey! I'm sorry, this is important. I should get this. Oh, get the phone. It's a Serbian cell phone. Calm down. Hello? Oh, it's my agent, Phyllis. Phyllis, where the fuck are you? Hey, this is a mobile. Oh, you're kidding. No, you're joking. Okay, look, listen, I've got to call you back. No, I'm doing a fucking show. Okay. Oh my gosh, I have some amazing news, ladies and gentlemen. Guess who is the new spokesperson for the tourist board of Greater Serbia? Yeah! Come back to Greater Serbia. Come Christian, come Jew. We hope you can join us. We cleansed it for you. You laughed. I'm just workshopping it. I feel so isolated all of a sudden. Have I introduced my husband, Yitzhak? There's no need, there's none. We met during my great Croatian tour of the late mid-90s. He was the most famous drag queen in all of Zagreb. Billed as the last Jewess in the Balkans, he lip-synced something from Yentl under the name Crystal Nacht. Yeah, well, he was good. He was too good. His applause drowned out my introduction, and I refused to go on. But on my way out, he begged me to take him with me. While my face might have been my mother's, it was so still. I said to him, Crystal, to walk away, you've got to leave something behind. I'll marry you on the condition that a wig never touch your head again. He agreed, and we have been inseparable ever since. And will continue to be, right, honey bear? Look, mistletoe. Look, kids, up immigration. Barbara Streisand. Oh, you're no fun. Go back to your hole. Listen, I hope you all are becoming fans of Hedwig. Oh, yes, because I am definitely becoming a fan of dance. From this milkless tit, you have sucked the very business we call show. Okay. You want to know about Tommy Gnosis? I'll tell you about Tommy Gnosis. Get this dead thing off of me. Oh, get it off. It's clearly a dead cheetah, not my own Trudy. After my divorce, I scraped by with babysitting gigs and odd jobs, mostly the jobs we call blow. I had lost my job at the base PX, and I had lost my gag reflex. You do the math. I sat for the baby of General Speck, and his other son was the artist formerly known as my butt boy. Yeah. We're talking about Tommy Speck at this time, okay? Tommy Speck was a 17-year-old, four-eyed, pock-marked, Dungeons and Dragons obsessed Jesus freak with a fish on his truck. Yeah. Well, I found him incredibly hot. Perhaps it was his disdain for authority, or his struggle with organized religion. Once, I caught him punishing the bishop. It's from an earlier metaphor. Well, he was in the bath with the door wide open, clearly waiting for me. So I reached down and I finished his grace off. That's the end of that metaphor, I promise. On my way out the door, I dropped a flyer on the bath mat. By the way, Tommy, I'll be performing a short set tonight at Dr. Espresso's Seattle-style coffee enema bar. Maybe I'll see you there. I had recently returned to my first love, music. I had tried singing back in Berlin. They threw tomatoes at me. After the show, I had a lovely salad. But newly motivated, I bought myself a cheap electric piano. That song was built in. It was so cheap. And I found myself a few Korean sergeants' wives who churned out a mean rhythm section. Oh, thank you. It was very funky. Made someone leave. Good riddance. Go to the bathhouse. The real bathhouse. Oh, somehow we became quite the draw, singing the hits of the day under the name The Angry Inch. That night, the crowd was small, but hostile. Thank you. Both of you. That song was by Mr. Kurt Cobain. Now that kid's got a future, huh? Let's give it up for Quang Yi on guitar. Give it up, Quang. Give it up. Not in my Starbucks. Oh. Looks like we have a celebrity in the house tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Over by the Sweet-in-Law. Little Tommy Speck, the general's son. That's more than I got, honey. Oh, look, he's embarrassed. Well, I'm a little nervous myself. You see, this is the first song I have ever written, and it's actually for a guy to sing. I believe that we are talking to Phil Collins's people about this one. But then again, aren't we all? You know the sun is in your eyes, and hurricanes and rains, black and cloudy skies. Turn it on and off at will. There's nothing here to thrill or pull you down. And if you've got no other choice, you know you can follow my voice through the dark turns and noise of this wicked little town. Oh, lady, luck has left you here. And they're so twisted up, they'll twist you up, I hear. The pious, hateful, and devout, you're turning tricks till you're turned out. The wind so cold it burns, you're burning up, blowing round. And if you've got no other choice, you know you can follow my voice through the dark turns and noise of this wicked little town. Fates are vicious and they're cruel. You learn too late, you've used 2 wishes like a fool. And then you're someone you are not, and Junction City ain't the spot. Remember Mrs. Lawton when she turned around. And if you've got no other choice, you know you can follow my voice through the dark turns and noise of this wicked little town. It's the Shroud of Hedwig, ladies and gentlemen. Wow. I'll go hang that out in the gallery. Call it Hedwig Selfie. It's kind of creeping me out. The next day, I was putting the little speck baby to bed when Tommy appeared with a very expensive-looking guitar. Your show? That song? My dad got me this guitar to apologize for being such a pathetic little dictator. You want to come up to my room? We went up to the attic and he played me songs. Classics, I was informed. The bands were new to me. Boston, Kansas, Europe, America, Asia. I put my hand on the strings. Travel exhausts me, honey. Well, where are you from, Hedwig? I told him my story. His face might have been a Yes album cover. It was so still. Have you accepted Jesus Christ as your personal Lord and Savior? I told him I was aware of our Lord. I loved his work. You know, what he was saving us from was his fucking father. I mean, what kind of God creates Adam in his image and then pulls Eve out of him to keep him company and tells him not to eat from the tree of knowledge? I mean, he was so micromanaging. And so was Adam. But Eve just wanted to know shit. She took a bite of the apple and she found out what was good and what was evil. And she gave it to Adam so that he would know, because they were in love. And that was good. They now knew. Hedwig, would you give me the apple? These were the words falling from those lips. And his eyes, his irises were clear cylinders of surprising depth and emptiness. Just a few puddles of brownish pain sloshed around inside. Same brown as my eyes. At the time, Tommy's performance options were limited to the occasional guitar mass. I initiated a 6-month curriculum of rock history, lyrics, grooming, and vocal training. My patented oven technique. For his graduation, I gave him his name, Tommy Gnosis, the Greek word for knowledge. We collaborated. Songs exploded out of us. He started singing backup for me at Dr. Espresso's. Teenage girls started showing up. So I added a few duets, standing room only. And then the Sizzler called. Has the Sizzler ever called you? They have an amazing salad bar. Well, in 6 months' time, we were outgrossing monster trucks in Wichita. With that kind of money coming in, I was able to quit all my jobs, even the ones called blow, and devote myself entirely to our career. We were very happy. One day, I am curled up in the trailer, enjoying my usual late afternoon constitutional of grain, alcohol, and Brita. I like to be good to myself. Suddenly, Tommy is at the door in tears. Honey, what is it? My dad, and my mom, my fucking parents. That's a lot of people. Man. I hold him, as I have never been held, but as usual, he squirms and slides behind me, clutches my spine to his chest. I'm suddenly very much aware of the fact that we have not kissed in all the months that we have been together. In fact, he has maintained a near-perfect ignorance of the front of me. Perhaps it's because of his preference for over-the-shoulder love. Honey, why don't we work on that new song while I finish plucking your eyebrows? Look what you've Shit. Another song blows in from the trailer next door.
And I will always love you.
This song has been on a loop for 3 fucking days. Suddenly, Tommy looks up at me through new lenses. One blue and one pink.
That is all.
What do you think, Hedwig?
I'm taking
Does love last forever?
with me.
No. But this song does. Don't knock a multi-platinum single unless you got one. I wish I could hit those notes. Just move your lips and I'll sing them for you, honey. From a shadowy corner of the stage, like Mick Jagger's backup singers. We laugh at the professional reference. I return to his brows.
But if I promise, I wish you love.
Seriously, Tom, yeah. I believe love is immortal. Look what you've done. How is it immortal? I don't know, honey. Perhaps because love creates something that was not there before. What? Like procreation? Yes, but not only. What? Like recreation. He grabs my ass and laughs. I don't. Sometimes just creation. Don't move. I paint a bold silver cross on his forehead. Honey, have you thought of a B flat after that B? Look what you've done.
And I
Tommy rises slowly and draws the curtains that attach at the top and the bottom. He reaches out his hand and I take it. I notice how well his Harlem Spice nail color complements my own dusty menses. He spins me into his arms and rubs his pelvis on the small of my back. Look what you've done. You made me whole. Before I met you, I was the song, but now I'm the video. Look what I've done. I made you whole. You know that you were just a ham, but then came me. The dull pineapple rings. He laughs, and I'm filled with an ancient clarity. He's the one. No blood in my eyes. No blood on his face. He's the one. The twin. The one who was taken. The one who left. Twin born in fission, he'll die in fusion. Our fusion. Cold fusion. Unlimited power. Unlimited knowledge. The secrets he must hold. The memories that we have made that are now forgotten. The words to complete the sentence that I began. I am. My eyes fill with muddy Maybelline tears. Oh, Hedwig, when Eve was still inside of Adam, they were in paradise. So when they're separated, that's when paradise was lost. So when she enters him again, paradise will be regained. That's right, honey. However you want it, just kiss me while we do it. I wrench my body around to face him and thrust his hands between my legs. What is that? It's what I have to work with, honey. My mom's probably wondering why you're such a sissy, lispy, girly Nancy boy. What are you afraid of? I love you, then love the front of me. Love the front of me. and he runs out the back door. Look what you've done.
Look what you've done. You took a load. You know that I love you hard, and I didn't wanna know that you're cool, seductive, separately. I was a tool of the tree. You took a load. All the riches used to remain, and all that you can build, just another dollar that you made in your long, long grip. Look what you done. You took low. Another hustle has been run. And now you all know that this fool can no longer be swayed by the tools of your trade. You take a low. Just another time you give, another sucker still. Walk all over the script to your long, long grip. Love that had me in your grip was just a long, long grip.
It's nice over here, out of the spotlight. You and me, singing back up in our oven. A couple of survivors, the German and the Jew. Think of the symmetry. Think of the power. Think of the publicity. Gods would be terrified. I was born on the other side of a town ripped in two, and no matter how hard I tried, I end up black and blue. I rose from off of the doctor's slab. I lost a piece of my heart. Now everyone gets to take a stab. They cut me up into parts. I gave a piece to my mother. I gave a piece to my man. I gave a peace to the rock star. He took the good stuff and ran. Forgive me for I did not know, 'cause I was just a boy and you were so much more than any God could ever plan, more than a woman or a man. And now I understand how much I took from you. 'Cause when everything starts breaking down, you take the pieces off the ground and show this wicked town something beautiful and new. You think that luck has left you here, but maybe there's nothing up in the sky but air. With all the changes burns dry. A dream or a song that hits you so hard, filling you up and suddenly gone. Breathe, feel, love, give, free. Know in your soul, like your blood knows the way, from your heart to your brain, knows that you're whole. You're shining like the brightest star, transmission on the midnight radio. And you're spinning your new bonfire, ballerina dancing to your rock and roll. Cincinnati and Tina and Yoko, Aretha and Nona and Nico and me and all the strange running